Hello everyone, my name is Shai. Today I'm reacting to the long-awaited return of BTS with Boy With Love, which is featuring Halsey. Sorry, apologize. First and foremost, if anyone is new to my channel, my reactions are called Shai Reacts for a reason. I'm not as but not as, like, out there with my reactions, like some other reactors and whatnot, so it's just different from what other reactors, some reactors do. But anyway, I'm pretty excited for it to come back, you know, watching the teasers and everything. It definitely looks like an homage to the previous eras, you know, and all that. And obviously I've been watching all the theories and whatnot that have been associated with, you know, BTS's comeback, you know, like, obviously the whole theory with, you know, Jin finally fixing, I think it was like fixing the timeline. Honestly, I try to keep up with a lot of the theories, but like half of them just like went out the window because there's a lot of them. But basically, like, Jin like fixed the timeline or something, and like them, you know, coming back with Boy With Love is just like everyone's okay or something. I don't know. Like I said, so many theories. A lot of them went out the window for me because it's just like there's so many. But it's really interesting to watch, you know, armies figure it out and whatnot. But anyway, like I said, pretty excited for this comeback. Definitely got a funny anecdote about this release this time around. Also, I want to start off before I start. I want to say that I'm pretty. I find it really ironic that my first comeback with BTS in a while is when I'm in Korea and they're in the States. So I'll get a little bit more into that, but I'm gonna get straight into this. So without further ado, this is BTS with Boy With Love, and here we go. And obviously Boy With Love is kind of like Boy In Love from many years ago, so it's interesting. Okay. Okay, this is different. This has a familiar medley line. Hey. Y'all, RM with the blonde hair. Is that blonde or like ash gray hair? Ooh. The chorus sounds so familiar though. Like the medley line. My boy! Y'all don't know I'm RM biased. I have been since the dope era. Oh, that had all their old... Right here, this scene has the names of their albums. Young Forever, School, Love Yourself, Wings. And then Jungkook here in this little scene, he changes from this to this, which I find very interesting. Hello, ad. This was a really good comeback, though. It's very different. Obviously, since the last comeback was more focused, I guess you can say, on like the Korean elements in their song. This one has like a very familiar like medley line. Like I've heard this from one of their songs before, but I can't pinpoint which song it was. It's from one of their old albums. I know that. I can't think of any. Am I the only one who thinks this? Like the chorus sounds like super familiar. Like that medley line of their chorus sounds super familiar. Also, wow. They're definitely doing a lot, you know, with their careers and whatnot. And it, you know, I did a reaction to Idol when it came out, and what I mentioned there too, that, you know, I've been a fan of BTS since the dope era, since maybe about 2015, give or take. But I remember my first song that I got into with them was Dope. That's the first song I remember. But the reason why I decided to check them out all those years ago was because of their Bangtan bombs. I remember they were like absolutely ridiculous dorks. But even before that, I heard them a lot from my friend. And you know, I decided to cave in and watch one of their Bangtan bombs. From the Bangtan bombs, I went to Dope, and from Dope, here I am. Has it been 4 years since that song came out? Give or take, like I said, give or take. And here I am, you know, years later, watching these guys grow to the group that they are today. But, you know, it's been interesting to watch them kind of grow up. You know, thinking about it now, I feel like the first couple of years, you know, they were really like hip-hop, you know, trying to be a hip-hop group, but I feel like that was like the teenagers trying to find themselves, trying to find their way in the world, type of, like, the first couple of years. And then, like, maybe after I Need You, it was them stepping foot. It was like a turning point, obviously. I Need You was a turning point for them. So from, I think I Need You before, God, I'm trying to think of the releases right now. I think up to Save Me, I want to say, is just like them starting to step out into the world. And then after Save Me, from then on, it was just them realizing, you know, they've pretty much grown up and they've realized what they wanted to do, and now they're diving headfirst into realizing, you know, their dream. That's my kind of thought with the past couple of years with them. But first and foremost, my funny little anecdote about this song. So obviously this came out on April 12th, yeah? On Friday, Friday, April 12th, at 6 o'clock KST. As I mentioned in the beginning, I am in Korea. I'm currently living and teaching English here in Korea. And you know, I talk with my students a lot. Like at first I didn't really talk about, you know, K-pop because, you know, I didn't know how to gauge that, but after a while I got comfortable with my students and we started, you know, talking back and forth about like who we like, and like what kind of songs that they like and whatnot. And obviously, the ones that I get the most from the girls, and even some of the boys too, is that they really like BTS. They really do. This one particular class that I teach on Fridays, before I get into that, actually, I should probably tell you the setup of my classes. I currently teach in a private academy. I don't teach in public school. I teach in a private academy, and obviously I have at least 4 to 5 classes a day, but they're obviously different classes. They're not the same classes. They're alternate each days. Like, one class I'll be teaching Tuesdays, Thursdays, etc., etc. This class on Friday, I only teach on Fridays, so I only get to see them on Fridays. And, you know, I actually kind of forgot that this was being released on that Friday. Until my students started freaking out, and then they're like, teacher, BTS, new song. And I'm like, oh yeah, BTS is coming out with a new song at 6 o'clock KST, 6 o'clock. But that class ends at 6:05. And so, like, you know, they're doing their work, you know, I was teaching them, like, you know, we were doing a writing lesson that day. And, you know, I'm finishing up, and we got done a little bit early, so I wanted to practice with them. Because they have, once they're done, finished with books in my private academy, they do English presentations. And one thing that me and another foreign teacher who also teaches that class on, I think, Wednesdays, either Tuesdays or Wednesdays, he teaches on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, is that when they have to write scripts about certain topics that we talked about from their lessons, a lot of them wrote about BTS. Like, a lot of them are huge BTS fans. That's another anecdote, but basically, yeah, the class ends, and then I click the clock on the computer because, you know, you can count down the seconds on the clock, and my students were freaking out because they're like it was like 5:58, like 2 minutes before it was released, and then it hit 6 o'clock, and all the girls in my class just started screaming, and I'm like, okay, calm down. And they're like, teacher, YouTube. And I'm like, no, you can wait 5 minutes, because, you know, I can't really tell them that I'm a content creator, because that'd be awkward. But, so I'm just like, no, you can wait 5 minutes, and they're like freaking out. They're like, teacher, we have to see BTS, you know, the BTS this. But then I started talking to them about BTS and whatnot, and we just passed the time with that, just talking in English about BTS and what they like about them. I asked some of them how long they've been a fan of BTS. Some of them said 2 years, some of them 3 years, and whatnot. By the way, I teach elementary to middle school students, and I think in my class they're elementary students. So yeah. And I've noticed in my private academy that the two people that I hear whenever I ask who their favorite member is, there's three answers I always hear: V, Jin, or all of them. And, you know, they always ask me, teacher, who's your favorite? I always say RM, because it has been for the past 4 or 5 years now. But yeah, that's a funny anecdote. I found that really funny. But yeah, in my private academy, BTS and 101 are the big groups that I hear about a lot. You know, whenever I talk to my students about that. But yeah, BTS definitely growing, you know, they've been growing a lot these past couple of years. Really proud of them, honestly. Just watch them grow, finally find their, like, how do I say? Finally find something that defines them, basically. Like I said, the first couple of years was maybe, excuse me, I just ate, so I'm burping a lot, sorry. But the first couple of years was like, you know, teenagers or like just turned adults, guys who are trying to find their way in the world. The year after that, after their debut year, it was just like that turning point that they needed. And then from then on, it's just been a whirlwind of, you know, realizing dreams one by one, and whatnot. So it's been a joy to be watching these guys this past couple of years, seeing how much they've grown, seeing how much they're pushing the K-pop wave even more. You know, that, you know, I'm gonna emphasize this, the fact that they're pushing I guess they call it the Hallyu wave, even further. You know, their seniors started it, obviously, and then they're pushing it even further than before, and it's awesome to see that, you know, they're doing that. They're just continuing the path that was started before by their seniors and whatnot. But yeah, BTS, man, really proud of them. Really happy to see how much they've grown since I've gotten into them. This song was very interesting. Like I said, that chorus sounds so familiar, like really familiar. Like, I don't know if it's because I might have accidentally heard it in a CU. Because fun fact, I usually sometimes, if I decide if I wanted to, I sometimes go to the CU near my academy and eat dinner, and they usually play like a lot of the big songs. Even I'll tell this story later, but even around here, like basically, yeah, I might have heard it outside, or it's just like it really is reminiscent of like an older song. But I don't know, you know, I don't know if I'm the only one who hears it and whatnot, but yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, yeah, I hear BTS songs a lot around my city. I'm not in Seoul, by the way. I'm in like a country, not a country, but like a small city near Busan. But basically, there's a little area that's like very little popular. There's like a lot of food areas, shopping areas, cafes, arcade and whatnot. But that area plays a lot of like songs, like popular songs, and I've definitely heard BTS a lot just walking down that street. So yeah, BTS is definitely everywhere. Definitely one of the big groups amongst my students. Which is weird to me because like I remember that they also asked me like how long I've liked BTS, and I was like, yeah, like 4 years. And they're like, whoa. Some of them are new fans, definitely, but it's always fun to hear, you know, how much they really, what my students like about them, what you know, and whatnot. It's just been interesting to watch them. Like it's just been a wild ride, honestly. I'm just one of the more low-key kind of stans because, do I want to mention this? I'm going to mention this. I'm one of the more low-key stans mainly because a lot of armies are giving armies a bad rep. So, I'm one of the more low-key ones. But, you know, I'm rambling a lot because it's just, I have so much pride in BTS. The fact that they're pushing out the Hallyu wave even more. The fact that they're doing so much, even for representation in the media in America, because seeing someone like them in doing what they do in their own language, not changing anything, and doing what they do, no, like nothing, not even changing one bit, is just amazing, you know. And you know, I cannot wait to see what's in store for them. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do this again too. The dreaded E word, enlistment. I know that's coming up next year for some of them. So it's going to be interesting to see what else they do this year, because they're at their peak right now, maybe climbing even higher. So it's going to be interesting what they do this year. See what else they do this year and whatnot. Pretty excited for these guys. Pretty awesome comeback. It's going to bother me like no tomorrow how familiar this song sounds. Like, I don't know if I've heard it just walking around by accident, or if the medley line is just like one of their older tracks and whatnot. Also, I love the color scheme of this music video, because it really fits like the season right now. It's spring. If they released this a couple of weeks earlier, because like right outside my apartment is some cherry blossom trees. A couple of weeks ago they were like full bloom, and it would have been so pretty to just like open my window and do a reaction while you know, having the cherry blossoms in the back. Although I don't think you can see it. But anyway, I'm rambling. Basically, simply put, awesome comeback. You know, it's good to see that BTS are still staying to the roots no matter how big they've gotten. Super proud of them. Really cannot wait to see what else comes, or what else they'll do this year. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. Do apologize for rambling a lot. It's something I like to do. Again, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.